Welcome to What's the Move podcast. I'm your host, Alexis Leaks, and today I am joined with some special guests. Please introduce yourselves.
Well, you guys may know me already. I'm Amorphous. Me and Alexis have been best friends for the past year. We both go to Folsom University, so it's an honor to be here on your first episode.
And y'all definitely don't know me. My name is Courtney Taylor Domville. You can follow me on my social media at Courtney Taylor across, all different platforms. I've been friends with Jameer and Alexis here. I would say since like month 3 or 4 of school. So
My month 4. You probably know him longer than me.
you're month 4.
Yeah.
I thought you always been in our class.
I mean, yeah, but I didn't really talk.
We didn't really talk either.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. Well,
But we still knew each other.
Yeah, okay. So I knew them for since that time, but I started
got
getting
close
close to them probably last year.
Because I didn't know our other friends were 5 months later. I was like,
Fair enough.
hey.
Fair enough.
But
Yeah.
our topics today, since it's Black History Month, we're going to talk about Black culture and why is it such a big thing today. So let's start off with who is your inspiration in the Black community?
You want to go first?
Oh, sure. All right. So
I already know you're going to say.
you already know what I'm gonna say. I can't. Well, Black. So are we
I already
putting
know
the
you're gonna say.
overgeneralization?
What do you mean?
Can Spanish people count too?
No.
Or
Those
no?
are Black.
No.
Cool. Fine. So
Not
so
to discriminate.
Yeah, we're not
We
discriminating.
don't do that.
We're just
here.
we're keeping it
But since it's Black History
American
Month,
stuff
we
like
want
that.
to acknowledge the Black inspirations in our lives.
Because I was about to go and say Lin-Manuel,
I
but
knew
sorry,
you were.
Lin. Sorry, but
Another day.
Yeah, no, sorry. Here, your phone's ringing, by the way. My inspiration would definitely be Donald Glover. Y'all may better know him by his
Yes.
moniker Childish Gambino, and of course my
Georgia native.
Ooh, is he? Yes, he is Stone Mountain. So, and of course, my other inspiration, Chance the Rapper. That man has not released an album, and he's already making billions of dollars. Look at that. That tells you something. That's Black excellence.
Absolutely. I agree.
Okay, so if you guys are listening and you guys follow me on social media, you already know who my inspiration is. It is the Aaliyah Downharden. She has inspired me ever since I was 4 years old. I just appreciate everything that she had to offer musically and the fact that she continued to stay grounded while still having an awesome career. So that is my biggest inspiration in the Black community.
For me, I have different ones for different things because they all are different. But I would have to say my inspiration, non-celebrity, is my mother because I love her.
That's a good one.
Celebrity wise, my mom is a celebrity in her own right.
Hey.
Let's get that straight before she kills me. But no, my inspiration in the entertainment industry would have to be Taraji P. Henson and Kerry Washington. I love Scandal. I love strong female women. I love that they are able to express themselves in this day and age, and I love the movement that's going on right now.
Absolutely.
With Black culture and how it's coming up in today's generation. I think we are now speaking up more than we ever have been, and I wish that that continues later on in the future.
Yeah, I like Kerry Washington a lot. I still have to watch the last Scandal episode. I was watching How to
I'm
Get Away with Murder.
4 episodes behind.
What? You need to get on the train. A lot has been happening. But yeah, I definitely appreciate, especially another one is Viola Davis too. I love her.
Yeah,
I love her.
Yeah.
It's great to see, like you said, strong Black females being represented on TV nowadays.
Yeah.
In such a way that's not necessarily stereotypical. It's very complex and real to the character. So
Yeah.
it's really
I agree.
cool.
Yeah, she's Kerry Washington's pretty. I remember the first thing I saw her in, which y'all should definitely see, especially just like Alexis said,
Better
if
not be
you
Django Unchained.
no what
good.
no.
I love
That's a good movie too, but especially if y'all want to see strong female leads, Tyler Perry's adaptation of For Colored Girls.
Yes.
It's a very
Yes.
tough
Okay,
movie
yeah.
to get
Yes.
through, but it's a really good movie, especially if y'all love
that movie. I couldn't watch that.
Full Color Girls?
No, I don't want to spoil nothing.
Yeah, well,
whatever. I mean, that movie came out how many times ago? Spoiler alert, because I'm going to spoil it anyway. I don't care.
That's fine.
Like that part where I don't even remember the character's name.
Michael Lee's character.
Yes, when he like killed them kids, I was like, I'm not watching this. I said, what type of devil shit? I'm not watching it. I was like, never mind. We're not doing this no more. Yeah, but that's actually a really good movie. So I have to watch it.
Really good.
Again.
Yeah, I like that women and black women are like have this movement where they're, not knocking each other down. There's a lot of reality TV. I'm not gonna name any of them, but there's a lot of reality TV that shows women, black women, being just mean to each other, and it's like just for a paycheck. Like you don't have to be mean to these people. Like these people have other things that they go through that you may not know of, but somebody's telling you have to act this way to provide for your family.
Exactly.
But that's not something I stand for.
That's actually an interesting topic too, and I hate to like be the person to just be like, hold up, let's derail real quick. But now that you got onto like, reality TV, like I watch a lot of like, or I used to, not anymore. But I used to watch like a lot of like Bad Girls Club, and Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it's sometimes I could just say it's like so entertaining. Yeah. But it paints, especially like, I don't know, you have these. I'm gonna get real with y'all. You have these white corporations that try to capitalize off of just, I'm gonna say like black suffering in a sense. Like they love to see us just kind of like arguing and fighting and tearing each other down, because for the past couple of centuries, that's what we've been. That's us in terms of like our stereotypes. It's just we can't get along. We're always jealous of one another. It's a mess, and so they use that to kind of like, and we find that entertaining for some weird reason. Like I won't lie, like I'll sit and watch and I'll laugh and I'll think it's the funniest thing, but I really take a step back and think about it. I'm like, I shouldn't be watching this. Delete off my DVR. But.
Yeah, like piggybacking off of that, it's like that's funny you just say that, because like in our what's that thing? Our pop culture class that we have nowadays, we were discussing the same thing like that, like why rap music and hip hop has the negative demoralization of females and the need to get money and all this stuff. And I remember one of the students said that well, it's hard to really not make music or content like that when that's what's advertised in the ghettos and whatnot. And I agree with that. And at the same time, us as black people, we have to like learn to say no and paint a positive picture on that. I know I'm saying it's hard. I'm not saying that it's not hard, but we gotta like be able to like flip that around,
Right. And it's also a thing of the will to do that. Some people don't want to.
Exactly.
Some people, because that's what they. They're born in a society where that's glorified. So they feel like, I don't know. It's like this whole thing. Like I went to like a really preppy school, a Quaker school, where it was like, oh, every race is friends and we're all nice and whatever, like kumbaya. But like that's literally what it was. And so, when, some of my cousins and stuff, I lived in the suburbs, and they live in more urban areas than I did at the time. So when I would go over there, and I'd be like, they would just like, I don't know, just really like preppy and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not really into like quote unquote rap music at the time, because all they talk about is like killing people and drugs and everything. They're like, well, that's the lifestyle. That's how you gotta be. I'm just kind of like, there's other things that you can look forward to. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate, because some people think that's the end all be all.
Right.
And
it's not.
Especially with like the way society is nowadays, like we have bigger problems to be dealing with.
But I think it also has to come with, how the kids are raised.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It has to start in the household. If it doesn't, then people turn to that. I mean, it's not bad that you turn to music. That's a whole different thing. But it's a difference when you don't have a strong influence in your house. Yeah. And I've grown up with 2 parents and beautiful siblings. Don't let that go to y'all heads. But it has to start in the household. It has to come from somebody in that house that can inspire their kids to do something different.
Right.
I think that's a good point, but I also think there's only so much you can do nowadays in the realm like that. Like we're in a social media era. Like no matter what you do, you're gonna no matter how much you like try to shield your kids, they're gonna see something regardless, you know. So I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword because, yeah, like parents nowadays, unfortunately, they can only do so much, and there's a whole other aspect of the, you know, the stereotypical. I'm really speaking on like stereotypical black males because that's mostly what you see in the rap game, speaking on like drugs and women or whatever. But there's a much broader picture because you have these kids that will get signed at 16 for making this crazy little song, and you'll have, you know, the old white people that are the head of those labels just tell them to keep making hits just like that. They don't really have the opportunity to make anything different. I know a lot of people that who's that guy? What's his name? Fetty Wap. I don't even like him like that. I really don't. I don't care for him. He can't sing, whatever. But and it's not even that I don't care for him. It's just like I just can't relate to some of his lyrics. But I did listen to some of his songs that weren't like radio hits, and he was speaking on some real stuff. Facts, and you know, I was kind of wondering like, why are they not pushing that? But that's because it's not marketable.
And like that's crazy because like, you know, one dude that's like trending a lot in the rap industry right now is Lil Yachty.
Who?
Lil Yachty.
What?
Look, with the red hair and whatnot, the plaits, the box braids.
Oh, the one that looked like, you know, Wendy's spokesperson.
Jameer.
Oh my gosh, what? It's not a shot to you, bro. It's not a shot.
I don't care. I don't even know him. How is it a shot?
I don't like the songs that he made that are popular right now. I don't like them. But the funniest thing, and you know, I used to be like, oh, he can't rap, he can't do this, he can't do that. But I used to listen to like some of his interviews and other podcasts that he's done, and the boy can freestyle. He can really freestyle about some real stuff, and I'm just like, why don't you do this?
I think it's awesome, you know? Because like a lot of times it's so much easier. Did I just say? I don't know. That just sounded grammatically incorrect. It's much easier to rap about real issues that you've been through than to kind of just piece together rhymes about a lifestyle that you're not living. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like making hype songs, they're difficult to me. It's like it's much easier to draw from experience and like what you've been through. Because like, I get money. Okay, what's the next line? What do I rhyme that with? Like, you know, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, and it's also like, okay, excuse me, you get money, but you're still like driving around a 1996 Buick.
That's
so
true.
It's kind of like,
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, I don't know, you don't feel inspired enough because you really don't have them things you talk about. So just write a book or something, write a wish list. But I don't know, that was just interesting that you brought up the whole reality TV thing. And, you know, we got a little bit off subject, but
I mean, no, we're on topic.
Okay.
But, my next question is: do you think, you know, with a lot of the cultural appropriation going on, do you feel like, you know, other races have been influenced by the black culture?
Me personally, I think it's a fact that black people, we as black people, have always pushed the game, whether that's in music, whether that's in literature, whether that's in the arts, whether that's in just making history, period, you know? Yes, I think that we've always been the pioneer in a lot of things. I mean, if you really think about it, everybody came from Africa, so I mean, we really pioneered everything in that sense. But
y'all need to keep remembering, black people made rock and roll.
Right, so that's what she's talking about with like whole cultural appropriation things, because like, and even with just black history in general, or just history, like there's a lot of different things that black people have done in history that the history books have completely erased and said some white person has done it, you know?
That's so true.
So we've always, even though we've always been the pioneers, we've always kind of gotten like the end of the stick when it comes to representation, recognition, and, you know, getting the things that we deserve.
Yep.
Yeah. That's my take.
I think that's very true. It's like, you know, a lot of like you said, a lot of things in black history have been really glossed over.
Yes.
Like, especially, you already know I was gonna talk about this, but like,
right.
I'm a big Hamilton fan. And because of that, I was studying a lot more of history. So one thing that irritates me nowadays, you know, it's one thing, I guess, like when you go to like high school and they tell you like, oh, well, you know, that whole fantasy you had about Abraham Lincoln freeing the slaves. Yeah, not true. Okay, that's one thing. But now another thing that still prevails through high school is that people will teach you that in history Thomas Jefferson was to be treated as some sort of hero. He should not be, because he was one of the founding fathers that owned, if not the one that owned the most slaves. And it's like, I understand that was the lifestyle for them back then,
Yeah.
but still. And then you have people like Hamilton that get painted as a bad guy. Hamilton was one of the earliest abolitionists.
Right.
He hated slavery. He grew up on St. Kitts, and he was surrounded by, the injustices that were being done to the black community at that time.
Right.
So it's like, things like that, they don't get spoken of, and yet, we're being taught to glorify the people that we shouldn't be glorifying, that have like, induced the horrible treatment that, the black community has endured for so long.
I feel like, piggybacking off of what you said, like I feel like there's a way to not paint people in this light that there's some like savior.
Yeah.
Will still recognizing their accomplishments.
Exactly.
Because we as people all together are very, very complex. We do good things, we do bad
Of
things.
course.
You know what I'm saying? So to just be able to like act like they're like this crazy person that just kind of like did all these things and pushed the human race forward, and kind of, sweep what's really happening under the rug while they were still alive. I feel like that needs to be addressed.
I agree.
And that still happens today.
Most
And
definitely.
even not even just about Black history, but you have like the things with like sexual assault. A lot of things like everybody's like, oh, if it's like my favorite artist or my favorite director, I'm just gonna kind of act like that's not really happening because they made this movie, they made that.
You gotta
But
address it, bro.
you gotta address what's really
You
going
have to
on.
address the
You can
problem.
they could still be an amazing director and still be a trash person. You can say the same person. You say things,
It hurts me. It hurts me left and right when people talk about how weird Michael Jackson was back when he was alive. I love Michael. Michael's my biggest inspiration.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, not that I would say, because I personally don't know him, I can't say, oh, Michael did weird things. But the way Michael handled certain things when they were thrown against him didn't really help to paint him in a more positive light.
But again, it's like, what do you do in that kind of situation? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
That
That's
goes
true.
back to the fact that we as Black people, like, we are so conditioned to a point where like we react very differently when it comes to like somebody trying to paint us down, like, because for centuries we've just been treated like we're nothing.
Oh yeah.
People take credit for our work. People take our lives away from us. So it's like, what do you do in that situation?
That's true.
You were kind of speaking about, we've been watching American Crime Story, The People versus OJ.
Yeah.
And me and Courtney were kind of having a conversation about whether OJ did it or not. Courtney was saying how like he feels like he didn't do it, but he feels like he was just kind of acting really weird.
Yeah, I felt like OJ, he it's more like, when you look at how he handled things during the trial, it's like you had to question yourself. It's like, did that man like really have the smarts enough to do this? But then, I guess, you don't know what's gonna happen in that type of situation, so you can act any type of way.
Yeah.
So, hey.
I don't know, I just thought that was like a good
Yeah, it's
reference or
very
analogy in that
interesting,
sense.
yeah.
But I definitely agree about that. But to get back on the topic of necessarily cultural appropriation, I guess the biggest example of that is music in general.
Well,
I think that's where you see it the most. Music and fashion.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
I know from a female standpoint,
Yeah.
it's a lot of stuff in the beauty and fashion world
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that, is some styles, like wearing cornrows, like no other race was wearing that before Black people were.
And I think it's also another thing is that some people, because I do see some people, they're mad about, like, it's one thing to be mad about something that has, like, a valid reason to be mad about, but it's also another thing where it's just people are just mad for no reason, because there's a difference between, like, people forget, like, there's cultural appreciation and there's cultural appropriation. And cultural appropriation is when you take something from another race and you make a mockery of it. You don't appreciate or acknowledge where it came from or its roots.
I'll give you a great example of that.
I was
like,
thinking, yeah,
you,
I think I
well,
know what you're
I know what you're about to
Okay.
say. I'm gonna leave that,
go ahead.
because I just thought of another one. So, of course, the hip hop scene is trending, meant a lot for the right reasons and a lot for the wrong reasons. Like I said, there's Lil Yachty, who's being made to do all these, whack songs, in my opinion. Another person who just recently got into the hip hop game that should not be in there at all. Danielle Burgo, whatever her name is, Cash Me Outside Girl.
Catch me outside.
Oh, we're not gonna
Yeah,
talk about that.
that's just see, and that's what happens when you endorse horrible content in hip hop. You're gonna inspire people to make trash.
It's not even about inspiring people to make trash. She got beat up on the internet, and then they gave her a record deal. This is what happened. Like, she was an internet celebrity,
and it's like, come on now.
Yeah, or like even. Okay, well, I'm gonna finish my point, and I'll get back to what you were saying too. But like, a big thing that I've seen on Twitter a lot recently is that Bruno Mars is a cultural appropriator because he does a lot of '90s inspired stuff now. But that doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Some people don't understand what cultural appropriation is. When it comes to Bruno Mars, who I mean, I'm into his music and stuff. But I'm not like. I'm not really into like his history or whatever, but I do know some things about his musical inspirations. He's always talked about being inspired by Michael Jackson, Prince, like everybody from the Backstreet Boys in a sense, Boys to Men. Like he's stated that he's inspired by a lot of black artists. Like that's the music he grew up on. So of course he's going to incorporate that in your own music. That is what you do. You're inspired by certain artists and you pick up on certain things.
Exactly. You're an artist.
That's not cultural appropriation. Now, if he were to say. Now, let's say he were to use like typical music that was like associated with black people, whatever, and then he kind of just was like made a mockery of it in a sense, or kind of just was starting to make fun of it. That's a completely different story. And I'll give you a perfect example of somebody that does that. Iggy Azalea, she does it. I know her intentions are pure, but she doesn't. She doesn't do it in a way that she doesn't realize it like in herself. But even with Fancy, for example, like that was. Just no, like she was trying to. It's not real rap, in my opinion. It's because she's white. That's the only reason why she was a big success with that song, and just the way she was rapping. Like I used to be a big Iggy fan before that whole Fancy stuff. I won't even lie. Like Murder Business, that was my jam. I played that. I was bopping because she just got signed to T.I. and stuff, and she wasn't like she's trying to do like this stereotypical, almost like. Sound of a black woman. Like I don't know what it is, but she's like she talks really weird when she raps, but then when she speaks it sounds like she's a regular Australian white girl. I'm like, what are you doing? Like that's when it comes to making a mockery of our music and the stuff that we push. Yeah, I'm
just gonna touch on what I said earlier with the fashion and beauty area of this.
Yeah,
there's a lot of influencers, there's a lot of social media and YouTube influencers that copy trends and don't give credit to where it's due, which is, I hate to say, like the Kardashians, they are known for, sort of taking stuff from individuals, like the idea that they take from individuals, other people's fashions and try to make it their own and sell it as their own when they actually know it's not theirs.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there was a post that Kim Kardashian made where she was wearing the braids, and people were just looking at her like, you really didn't even know what that was until somebody told you what it was.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's just like, why do you keep getting up on all these trends if you don't know where it came from.
And exactly.
And the only reason she kind of has to know what the trends are is because she has a mixed family. She has a black son.
That's true.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, she has black children, whether they believe that or not.
Right.
And I think I watched the Kardashians, so don't blame me. There's like one episode which Kim was kind of insecure about braiding her daughter's hair because she didn't know how to braid, and then it's just like, and she went to a black female person to learn how to braid her daughter's hair because she has kind of a mixed texture of hair. And I think when you have a mixed family like that, it's important to know the history of why you're doing this to your kid's head, or what fashion they're going to wear, because that's very important. And that's why a lot of people, the female people, have a lot of issues with, is that a lot of these celebrities are getting trends and not understanding, like, some of those trends are not made from the people you're getting it from. It's made by some other person, probably overseas, that you don't even know about. Right. And they're just putting a name and a face.
And even then, I also think it's because of the fact that, like, it's another thing of that, like, when if it's on a black woman, it's ugly. Right. Or it's considered hideous or not chic or not Vogue enough. But as soon as a white person goes out and walks on that runway and wears it, all of a sudden it's in fashion.
New fashion.
Right. So that plays a big part in everything too, because it's kind of like, I don't know. I just feel like, especially black women have been like just mistreated a lot in the media for so long. But I not that I feel like it's necessarily changing. I think people are just becoming more aware of it, which will spark change in the future. Like, because people are still doing the same thing. Agreed. Like it may not be as upfront as it was a decade ago, but it's still happening. You know, so I do think that, you know, people are becoming more aware about it. So hopefully somebody will say something.
Yeah, I think I read this quote somewhere that said that black women, African American women, are the most unprotected people in the world, because, you know, they're doing a lot for their significant other, or they're doing stuff for their kids, and there's nobody to back them up. They're backing everybody else up except for themselves.
That's very true.
And they have to stretch themselves so far that, you know, sometimes they forget to do stuff for themselves. I'm probably one of those people that always forgets to do stuff for themselves because I'm always thinking about my next move and why I gotta do it and how I gotta do it.
Exactly, which is normal because you gotta, like, you know, think of how you're gonna, like, survive.
And then with the sexual harassment stuff going on, I also have to watch my back.
That's true.
No matter where I go.
That's true.
I think I'm getting a little bit off topic, but it's still about the same thing. So as a black gay man in America today, I will say that it is very difficult. Not that necessarily I feel unsafe, me personally, because I grew up in such an environment where it was, I grew up in an environment in terms of, like, schooling and stuff where it was, like, pretty much okay to be myself. But it's just the fact that, all right, I already have to worry about the fact that I'm black in America. Okay, that's one big thing. Then I have to worry about the fact that I'm gay in America. Those are two things that are just very, how to explain it? They're not good combinations here. So it's like, I would say that it's easier for, like, lesbians. I would say that, but then I had to take a step back because a lot of straight guys will kind of, like, fetishize lesbians and kind of make it seem like, I don't know, it's just like a double standard. Like, they'll look at a lesbian couple and be like, oh, that's so hot. Or they'll see two girls kissing, or they kind of fantasize over that. But if it's two guys in a relationship, it's a completely different story. It's like, oh, well, excuse my language, I'm going to say whatever. They'll be like, oh, you guys are faggots, da-da-da-da-da. And then to put the color of your skin on top of that just adds so much more stress for us. So I feel like in a way that we are kind of not misrepresented, but unrepresented in a sense as well. And we have a lot to worry about as well in America. Or even, like, trans rights. That's been, you know, a complete mess for the past couple of years. Oh, yeah. Because you have people that say they care and they really don't. Like, if you say you're going to be about a cause, be about it. Do stuff about it.
Very true.
You know, it's just, I don't know. I feel like if I ever got to a point where I really had the financial means to use my platform in a way of, like, just
to accentuate, you know.
Right. I'm going to do that regardless because there are so many groups in America that are, you know, antagonized. Like, the only group that is not antagonized are white people. Period.
I feel that. I think it's like, you know, the funniest thing is that, you know, on that subject, and even with what Alexis was saying, it's like black people as a whole are, now that I think about it, like one of the most unprotected races in the sense that, you know, we're attacked from other races, but at the same time we're attacked from within our own culture.
Oh yeah,
you know, we don't exactly.
That's the next topic.
You know, I don't want to say as if, you know, we don't, like, oh yeah, we can't, like, band together, because of course that's what the dream is. That's what everyone keeps saying. But here's the thing: it's like I don't want to sound like a jerk, but it's like 85% of our entire community, especially in America, we are crabs in a barrel. We only think for ourselves. We don't really try and, like, you know,
right.
It's like we'll have each other's back on certain occasions, but the moment the heat like really gets to it, it's like, well, you know, I wasn't doing that. You know, that's all you, bro. You was the one that made that choice. It's like, you know, I want to know that, you know, if you preaching all this stuff about unity and whatnot, I want to know that you're gonna stand with me regardless. Yeah, through thick and thin. So it's like, you know,
you just brought up a good point, because the matter of the fact is, when, you know, I hearing so much talk about like, oh, we as black people need to like just start, you know, pushing the revolution and stuff. I'm like, well, first of all, if we're going to do that, we have to come together as a people.
That's true.
And we have to, you know, unless you're a black straight man, you're kind of fucked in this industry when it comes to like getting people behind your back when it comes to, you know, the injustice in America nowadays. Like, you know, they'll kind of just forget about the black women. Oh, don't let me mention if you're gay or whatever. Then it's kind of like, we definitely ain't having you part of the group. So it's kind of like, if we're going to really push for better for us as the people in America, like, we're gonna have to start with ourselves. That's like, true. How are we gonna push anything we're not even together? You know, and it's kind of funny because I see so much stuff about black unity and, oh, we're this and we're that, but I'm like, if you really look at it, we're not yet. Like, in the broad scheme of things, I guess you could say, like, we are together in the sense of, like, you know, getting stuff done in the industry and the entertainment stuff. But in terms of the injustices, like, there's been so many cases of, you know, black trans women that have been murdered, like, so many times within the past couple of years. And ain't nobody doing nothing about that. Don't nobody care about that. It's really all about, it's because we go out of our way. I'm going to say black women and gay men, we go out of our way so much to protect our straight male brothers, but we don't get that same fight back, unfortunately.
That's sad, because, you know, it's like, do the golden rule, you know, do for your neighbor as you would have them do unto yourself. Yeah. You know, it's crazy.
I think so. You got anything to say, Alexis, about that?
Well, Courtney really just brought up the next topic, which is colorism in our own race. There's a lot of problems with that.
Oh boy.
Especially with women, there is a issue with light skin and dark skin, especially when it comes to relationships. There's a lot of, if she doesn't look like the skin color of Beyonce, then she's not pretty or she's not beautiful enough to be with me. Right. I experienced that in my own life. But I think that's also with men as well. Yeah. In the women's standpoint, if the guy is not, you know, a certain color, then we kind of stray away from it. But I think almost every black person is beautiful in their own right. That's true. No matter what gender or color you are, I think everybody's pretty much beautiful. But I think with the colorism thing, we have to stop doing that. We have to stop comparing ourselves to each other, because if we're talking about trying to come together as a unit, I mean, you can't do that if it's your own people against you. Yeah. You can't, you know, say, oh yeah, we're gonna go to this march, but yet the next day we're not cool. We're not friends because I'm like lighter or darker than you. So that's something I feel like we have to fix in our community before we try to go to another race and fix racism.
That's good.
I think that a lot of that comes from, you really have to look back at just how we've been treated as a people since we were brought to America. Because we've been so conditioned to feel like we're inferior to even ourselves, that of course it's going to cause some kind of tension within, you know, us as a people. So I definitely agree that there is a colorism issue. Like, I'm pretty light skinned, but I'm not naive and I'm not stupid. Like, I know that, let's say if I was, there's a thing called quote unquote white passing, and not necessarily, like, I used to get really annoyed because people in my family would always just make jokes to be like, you came from like one of the white people in the family, or well, I'm not mixed, but they're like, oh, somebody was like, you're probably like adopted and stuff. Like, yeah, they make jokes about it. I used to feel some kind of way about it, but that's nothing compared to actually getting treated just because you're dark. You know what I'm saying? And not that that's not to say that I wouldn't experience any kind of racism in my life just because I'm lighter than somebody else, but it's a known fact that the darker you are, the worse you get treated in America. Period. And there's not really anywhere you could go around that. As much as we as people try to act like, I'm speaking specifically on the light skin community. It's it's a known fact that we kind of try to. I don't know. It's just like we don't like to admit that. We like to be like, well, I get called names and I get called. Okay, it's one thing to be called names, and it's one thing to be systematically oppressed and treated differently because of that. So I feel like if I do agree with Alexis in the sense that is an issue that has to be addressed if we want to move forward as a people and address quote unquote racism as well.
Yep.
But it's just since it's been centuries of us having to deal with, the white people telling us it's inferior. It's going to take a lot of time for us to tackle these issues as a people. And, we've made so much progress in terms of, quote unquote laws and stuff, but there's still so many different undercover laws that kind of have us oppressed in so many different ways as well. So we just have a lot of work to do. I appreciate all of the success we've had and the progress that we made in the past 50 and 60 years, but
that's just that's only just scratching the surface.
That's only just scratching the surface. I just feel like personally, this generation isn't. It's just something missing. When you compare it to the the effort and the time and the sacrifices that our parents or our grandparents made to make certain opportunities that we have available to us. We're not doing the same things for our future children or grandchildren. It's just not that same drive. We talk about we talk about Trayvon Martin, we talk about Eric Garner, we talk about all that, but it's just we marched, okay, but we need the people in power. We need, and not to say that they haven't been doing stuff. I know Beyonce, I know Jay-Z have been doing stuff, but it's one thing to just be marching about it, but we need the people that are in power to do something about it.
To do something.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that won't happen when you have these old whiteheads still in office. It's not much we can do. But I just feel like something's missing. I just feel like it's not the same quote unquote drive that we used to have,
And
unfortunately.
I think it comes with getting this generation to vote.
Yeah.
Our generation has a problem with. Honestly, we're lazy. If we're gonna be real honest, we're honestly lazy.
Very true.
We take the easy way out. And if you really want change to happen, you have to vote.
Yeah.
There's nothing's gonna change if you don't make up your mind and decide this is the person I want to be in office. Because if you don't, obviously
look what happened,
you're going to get a sticky situation, and we're stuck in a situation that we really don't want to be in right now.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So I encourage everybody that's listening right now to vote. It's very important that you vote. It's very important that you let your siblings know
to vote.
And
your friends.
And your friends and anybody who has a concern on issues that happen every single day. If you have an issue and you have a problem, you need to find a way to get to a poll and vote. If you can't, get an absentee ballot and vote. There's so many ways you can vote, and there's no excuse for you not to.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
And it's so stupid. Speaking specifically on the whole Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, that whole election thing, it was so dumb. All I would hear is oh well, they're both bad. I'm just kind of y'all really just don't get it, do y'all? Forget how you feel about Hillary Clinton, whatever. You don't like her, you feel like she's shady. I don't really care. So you decided not to vote, and now you're the reason why Donald Trump is in office. Period. There's no way around that. So I know so many of my friends that just said, I'm not gonna vote because I don't like either of them. Right. I'm like, first of all, shut up, because you barely know anything about politics. It's the first time I heard you mention anything about politics was on November 4th, when the day of the election. Right. So it's kind of just we have nobody to blame but ourselves, honestly. You could blame the Republicans, you could blame everybody else, but we didn't go out and vote. Yeah. So in 2020, I don't care who is in office, but we are not getting Donald Trump.
Don't just have, oh well, I don't like either of them. Oh, they both made mistakes. Don't use that as an excuse because for two reasons. For one thing, choose the lesser of the two evils.
Yes.
I understand. You could be between a rock and a hard place. you know, whatever one in that situation can be broken or like lead to less, you know, chaos down the road,
Right.
just choose that one.
Right.
The second thing is that, which is interesting because one of our classmates, Kenny, he told me this once, and it makes so much sense to me, and it's something that I apply to myself all the time. Inaction is still an action. So
Right.
by you just not choosing either side, you're still technically aiding and abetting in whoever wins.
Right.
Period.
Because you didn't do anything to help the other side win.
Absolutely.
So, you know?
Right, and it's just so like I don't know, and it's just so funny because it's like it's hypocritical because those are the same people that are complaining about Donald Trump.
That's
today.
true.
Those are the same
That's
people
true.
making long posts on Facebook talking about Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, and I'll just sit there and be like,
Did you vote?
don't I remember you posting about not going to vote because you were worried about Hillary Clinton, her emails, and you really didn't care for Donald Trump, so you were just gonna sit at home and watch TV? Stupid. It's like I don't understand.
I can't. But yeah, there's a like voting
Yeah.
is necessary, and I think also for the people who are not interested in politics, I'm gonna need you to be interested in
politics
it
because it affects us.
Oh, yeah.
It affects everything you do from
Right.
the time you vote and the time you leave
Right.
to the time you die. Actually,
Right. Period.
So like, I'm gonna need you to understand like
what's going on?
what's going on, because as far as like for women, there's a lot of stuff with women going on right now.
That's so true.
I'm gonna need y'all to vote for that
Right.
because it's gonna get taken away regardless
Right.
of what you
Definitely.
think is gonna happen.
Right.
It's gonna get taken away.
Like even immigrants, there's so many
Right.
different issues that are so important. Like that's they may not even affect you necessarily personally, but let's say it may affect your friend, it may affect your brother, it
Right.
may affect your sister, your
Yeah,
uncle,
like
your
when
mom.
when y'all like go on social media and like y'all see how many families are getting torn up because
Right.
members are getting deported unfairly. It's like that hits me because I didn't vote. At the same time, I'm not here just like, oh, Trump this, Trump that. I know Trump's a bad guy, but at the same time, I'm just like, well, in my opinion. But like,
It ain't no your opinion, it's a fact. Don't worry about it.
it's
Say about your truth.
but it's just like I'm not gonna complain about it because A, I didn't vote. B, I'm just like, well, we stuck with him for the next 4 years anyway. So the most I can, because here's the thing. He gets impeached. Guess who's filling in his spot?
I know,
the vice
but-
president. And guess what? Is he any better? No, he's not.
No.
So either way, we're stuck with chaos for the next 4 years. So the most I can do is hope he'll make some type of smart decision. As of right now, he's not doing that.
I do see what you're saying about in a way that we're stuck with them, but in also a way we're not. Because even though I just feel like okay, not to knock you or anything.
No, go ahead,
brother.
you're good.
My brother from another mother. But I just feel like being in that mentality of being like, oh well, is not going to
Well, yeah.
progress
At the same time,
anything.
it's like I mean to say in the sense that he's here, and not to be like, all right, let's just accept it and just be whatever. But we gotta accept it in the sense that okay, learn from this. Now, how can we prevent
now
this
that
again?
I agree with
Yeah.
because that's what I'm saying. So the fact that clearly,
Like
hope
my thing,
America-
Like my thing is like if you didn't vote now, okay, whatever. You're gonna complain, whatever.
But
Take
make
your
sure you
complaining
vote,
and
yeah.
make sure you apply that in 2020.
Right, or whether people forget, like the presidential elections are not the only elections. Like the president
Right.
isn't the only person. As much as we hate Donald Trump, he is only one guy out of a bunch of bad fishes in
That's
office. There's the midterm elections that people need to be voting for. There's so many different things. Like people don't understand. Like we've let these old heads vote for too long. Okay,
Right.
it's time for us to go out here and vote. This is
That's so
our
true.
future. Like. Not just us, but the generations next to us. Like, I don't get it. Y'all need to get out of the bed and stop being lazy, because I'm tired of it.
Honestly, it's
Ooh, I thought you were about to rap Cardi B.
we love Cardi B around here.
Hey, girl.
But with what Jameer was saying, as far as it's not just only the president, it's your congressman, it's your senators,
Right.
It's the people that's actually in
It's your state mayors.
It's your mayor. It's anybody that's in your state that you
Right.
can call like, hey, I have an issue.
Right.
How
It's
can
even,
we?
it could
how
even be
can
a
we
principle.
change it?
Like,
right.
it really
That's
gets
true.
down
Right.
like so,
That's
like,
very true.
do something. Like,
Right.
stop sitting like, no, because this is going to get me fired up.
Like honestly, it's like you want to know something. Like when you think about it, they'll be like the old heads from our generation. Everyone's so hyped now to like turn 16, 17, 18, be like, I can apply for my permit. I can apply for my license.
Right.
Every time I talk to my parents or like anybody from previous generations, the first thing they always said when they turned 18, I could vote.
Right.
And it's like, dang, like I never really even thought about
that.
And no one thinks
because
about that nowadays.
That's what I was saying. That's the point that I brought back to earlier. It's that the same drive that our parents and our grandparents have is not present.
It's not there
within us because they fought so hard just to give us the opportunity to vote. Do you know how many people sacrifice?
So long
right.
For people to vote.
Oh my God! Like so much sacrifice. Like not even like people have lost their lives just for us to be able to vote. Period.
So true.
So for you to try to tell. First of all, I'm gonna take it personally if I find out you're not voting. Besides you, so if you're gonna tell me that you don't feel like voting just because you don't care about either one that wins, get up. Like I don't want to hear it. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. And so
then you wonder why is my healthcare?
Why is my healthcare gone? Why is this? Now we have this buffoon in the office that can't get off of Twitter. He just keep talking. It's like I don't understand. I don't get it. But vote 2020, vote 2018, vote whenever. If there's a little election going on in your town for the mayor, vote. It does not matter.
And just to touch on what I was talking about earlier about people who are not informed or not interested, please find a cause that you care about, because that's one of the main things that somebody's going to try to knock off. And if you find something that you know, something near and dear to your heart, please go out and vote for it, because if you don't, it will get tossed away like it's trash.
It's gonna bite you.
So I'm gonna need people who are not interested. If you're listening right now, please find something that you're passionate about and vote for it, because it will get taken away.
Another thing is the fact that, I'll be completely honest, I don't feel like, you know, how do I put this? Okay, we have Obama, we got Oprah. I can't really think of many other people right now, but we just don't have. Where are the Martin Luther Kings? Where are the Malcolm X's? Where are the people that are really, really out there and doing stuff? And that's not to knock anybody that's actively doing stuff within their communities. It's fine, it's open. It's like none of that. That's actually doing stuff within their communities to kind of like make a change. We don't have like those kind of artists or people that will not settle for nothing less. Sure, you might get up and go out there and march, but they did jail time to get certain opportunities that we have.
That's true.
So I mean, just like D-Ray, I could think of D-Ray. D-Ray does stuff, but it's just not on that level anymore. Right. It's just like, I don't know. I just feel like we're a little bit too complacent. I'll be completely honest.
I mean, it's like you can no problem. It's like you could even like turn that even towards the music industry. Yeah. For like an example, like
even like sports with Colin Kaepernick. I feel like Colin Kaepernick is like the only person right now that's saying I'm trying to do something important with my life, because I'm not playing football anymore. I want to be able to empower the next generation that's behind me. And I think he's doing a really good job with that, and I hope he continues to do that. So we need more people like Colin Kaepernick to be in these positions, especially if you have a certain following or influence on people.
That's true.
I think you really need to use your platform for the greater good. It's only going to help you even better.
That's very true. I agree. And on the flip side, it comes to like even us being an audience to certain things. Like, for example, I saw like a couple like Facebook stuff and Twitter stuff. Everyone was like shocked that Bruno won Album of the Year for the Grammys.
I'm not.
See, I'm not. Yeah, it's like when you think about it, it's just like everyone's like, oh well, why didn't Kendrick win? Why didn't Childish win? And it's like, well, you think about it, it's because y'all listen to them when you want to. It's like you listen to people that spread positive messages when you want to. Not saying that Bruno didn't spread a positive message with his album. His album, he was just having fun, which is no problem with that. But everyone's like, oh, Childish didn't win. Oh my goodness, I wonder why. Well, what do you listen to on his new album? The only thing you listen to is Redbone. You don't listen to Riot. You don't listen to Terrify, the things that talk about like issues in the black community. And you're shocked when these people don't win. It's
even Lemonade.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Rihanna.
Yeah, Anti too, but Anti wasn't necessarily a political album in that sense. I get what you're saying.
It's necessary. I think he's saying like they're not supporting
the
industry. If they're basically, I think he's saying is basically people are not supporting the black people in the entertainment like they should be. Like they're promoting, the other races of artists. Which I believe that as well. I think, for me, Bruno deserved that award.
Most definitely.
Only because that's his song is literally the first song you hear when you turn on your radio, regardless if you want to hear it or not.
That's true.
All you hear back to back on every radio station, me and my roommate, I heard Bruno non-stop.
All the time. That's what I like.
I maybe hear Jay-Z or Kendrick like probably 3 out of 4 times I've heard Bruno. So you have to think about how many plays he got, how many times he was on the radio, not just streams.
I think that's an interesting part too, because I'll say that.
Come on, Mr. Music Man.
Mr. Music Man.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a lot. I agree that Bruno deserved it. I think everybody that was nominated deserved it, besides Lord, to be honest. But no shots to Lord. It was a good album, but it just yeah. But
we love you, Lord.
I just feel like for songs and albums that are really going to be speaking, especially with black people, if they're really going to be speaking about black issues and what we go through, of course the radio isn't going to play that as much as they play something that's just about having fun, because it's more of a universal message.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's down to like what the people listen to.
Right.
Like when it's like,
but again,
my issue with Alessia Cara winning like the Grammys. Alessia Cara, because but my thing is like when I look at it, I don't want to because I keep saying this to everybody, and I don't want it to sound like I'm like ragging her for winning the Grammys. Everybody deserved to be nominated. Everybody deserved the chance to win. It's just that when you think about it, I want someone to tell me why Alessia Cara won Best New Artist without mentioning 1-800. You can't. It's not possible, because it's like, Here was a good song. What was the other song she made? 17. Those were good songs. You didn't hear them after the first 3 months. And it's like you had other nominees such as SZA, who a lot of her songs deal with female independence, and Lil Uzi Vert, who has not had a very controversial history in saying intelligent things in his songs, but his last album, Love Is Rage 2, it deals with a lot of mental illness. Logic made that essentially. Logic had released that his Everybody album with a lot of circling a lot of issues. But when you look at someone like Uzi, whose entire album was about dealing with a mental issue, that's a big thing too.
But I also think you can't, especially because that's what that problem I have with everybody being mad about Adele winning. Adele winning album of the year, because you cannot let it's like a fine line, because you cannot let the social message override the music.
The content.
If the music is great,
understandable.
The music is great. So that's why, especially with Bruno, if his music was great, then okay.
Which is
just because it has a good message does not mean it has to win. So that's what I was trying to tell everybody about. As much as Lemonade deserved album of the year too, I couldn't knock the fact that 25 won either, because that was a good album in terms of the music,
It's the way she came back.
Right.
That's very
true.
Everybody's
because nobody sounds like Adele, period. Beyonce's not sound like Adele as much as I love her. They're not. Rihanna, who? What? She is 2 diamond albums. That is unheard of. But anyway, back to the point. Back to the point is the fact that just because we talk about issues does not mean that the album is guaranteed to win. Period. I wouldn't do that. I'm like, okay, let's say Lemonade had a great message and it just ended up being trash. Okay, well, it's not gonna win no Grammy just because it had a good message. Which it wasn't trash. Because I love that album, girl. You did your thing.
These are music awards.
Music awards. It's about the music.
But and that's why I said what I said about telling me why she won. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, because
I cannot say that 1-800 was not a big influence as to why she won.
It probably. Yeah, but I feel like also because a lot of times Best New Artist, they'll be nominated for a couple years. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, when they don't get it, then I'm like, okay, fine, they'll give it to you.
And I think I've noticed this about the Best New Artist. They usually have the youngest people in that category.
That's true. That's
if
also
you
true.
think about it, because I think
it's to make it look impressive.
Right. I think last year Demi Lovato was nominated
at the Grammys.
Yeah, she was. I don't think it was for Best New Artist, but she was nominated for Best Pop, I believe, but she didn't win. I don't know who she lost to, but I think they usually putting somebody younger in the categories to appeal to the younger fan base because we really don't really watch.
Right, and I think it's another thing. No, my bad. But also, like, as much as I mean, I guess, what do you consider a new artist?
I was even about to just say that. Yeah.
Like,
because it's like how they choose these things.
Not even just that, but it's the fact that
how long would they have to be out for you to consider them?
Right, yeah, because some artists come out for a hit and then they disintegrate.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, Uzi hasn't been on the big scene, but he's been on the scene in some sense.
Right, but this is his main breakthrough.
Exactly.
So let's just
same thing with Chance.
Right.
Last year, Chance was just nominated for Best New Artist,
and he's had
3 mixtapes.
Right. So it's really about
even like. My bad. Or even like Cardi B.
Yeah.
Like, she really just got nominated.
She's had other albums.
Right. So that's why I think it's kind of like an interesting thing because, like I was saying, you could have one big song in the next minute and don't nobody care about you no more.
That's true.
So if you've been out for a while, let's say about, like, Alessia Cara, she's been out for a little while now. More than that. It was like 2014, 2013. She had songs before here or whatever. Oh. But, so she's been out for a while, so I can understand why they would kind of try to be like, okay, let's finally give it to you, because it's like, all right, you've been out for a little while now. Right. But in my opinion, best new artist means a new artist that just came out this year, or just kind of like breaking into the scene within the last 2 years. So I feel like, not that she's not deserving of it, she should have just won it earlier. Like, who else won best new artist the other years? I don't know, but if you're gonna give it to her, you guys should have gave it to her the year she came out, because there's so many other artists that deserved it more than her, in my personal opinion. And I'm happy for her too. But again, SZA, whoever you talking about, I don't really listen to him. But yeah, like I don't know, it's just
it's you know.
But I'm not gonna knock her success.
Even when MTV puts new rappers on their ciphers and whatnot.
No Lord.
That's another thing. But Uzi was on the cipher 2 or 3 years ago. That's why I'm just like, is he really counted as a best new artist?
Yes. Because
really,
this is my first time hearing of him this year. Like when it comes to
breaking heard of him.
Yeah, you had before
this. The song you don't like.
That came out last year. 2017.
Yeah, that's his song.
I'm thinking it's 2017. Stupid.
It's his song.
Yeah, I know the one is it.
Yeah, but he's
right. But that was last year.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. He's had 2
other
previous
songs,
albums,
right? But they weren't mainstream breakthroughs. Those were kind of still like. People knew about it.
YouTube bangers, SoundCloud
or even
bangers.
SZA has way more stuff before. SZA's been doing stuff for a while, but she's just now breaking into the mainstream. So that's what they consider. Best. She don't.
Well, I think honestly, we need a new wave of artists.
I mean, I like. Well, I like who I listen to because I try not to listen to too much mainstream.
I want Amorphous to be nominated.
Oh Lord, maybe one day. And Courtney Taylor.
I won't be nominated because I can't sing. But I will be nominated for an Oscar.
I'm gonna sample her. I'm gonna sample her and put her on one of my hits.
No, I'm not.
And then she can.
So fast.
It don't matter because I'm gonna do it without you knowing, and then you can't even sue me. So
if I'm trying to disappear,
I'll sample it right from this.
No,
it could be one of our topics that we're talking about right now.
I'm suing you.
Okay.
I'm give me
good luck trying to give me that money because I'm. No.
I was like, he did this without my permission. I didn't ask for this.
Okay, so you're just not gonna take the Grammy when I win it?
No.
Wow.
What you trying to do? You trying to do the who did that to Beyonce?
With the EXO thing.
Yeah, you trying to do that?
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to do that. I just you need to be one of the.
Who was it? Who was it that was like?
No, it was the Challenger thing. What?
Oh,
no, the one that was just like, I need to give her. I just think Beyonce deserved this a lot more, so I think I should just give this to her.
Oh, that annoyed me, Adele. That annoyed me. I said, "Girl, shut up and take your award and get off the stage." I'm not doing that. I don't care who it is. I don't care. I don't care if I came back to life and sat there. I love you, girl. I'll dedicate it to you, but you think I'm giving it to you?
That's so messed up.
No, because that annoyed me. Like, why would you do that? Like, that just annoyed me. Because I'm like, I love Beyonce too, girl. I love her. But if you don't stand in your truth, what? You sound stupid.
How about this? I'll come to award and sit with you, but don't put me in those songs.
Okay, so you ain't gonna come on the stage.
I mean, if you want me,
okay, come on. We all can go up on stage. You're gonna be the whole family. You're gonna be Courtney, you, your mom.
Just go to the after party.
Hey, if you listening, hey girl.
I'd rather just go to the after party.
Oh well,
that's right.
I'm gonna be chilling with Beyonce and Jay-Z and Blue Ivy.
They're gonna go to an after party. They always go to an after party after the Grammy.
You sure you're gonna be chilling with Beyonce?
Watch.
Because if Jay don't win, if Jay goes another Grammy without winning an award, she might walk out again.
Okay, well, I'm gonna follow her.
Actually, I'm
gonna sit next to Blue Ivy. We gonna talk about.
I'm gonna go find Rihanna. I'm gonna go find Beyonce. Then I'm gonna go find my husband Nick Jonas.
She said.
I had to name drop him like
two
once.
awards, Jay. You ain't won 2. You're a disgrace. Don't come back
Child,
home tonight.
Beyonce, if you don't hit me up right now, because I did that Beasley thing how long ago, and I know you saw when you was listening to it when you was popping them twins out, so I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that call. That was back in June.
Or like Oprah.
Who?
Oprah. If you like, if you like need another daughter or like somebody.
Oh, don't let your mom hear that. She gonna be mad.
My mom would be okay.
Don't.
It's Oprah.
I don't care. And that's your mama.
I told her I love her already. So like.
Anyway.
Mom, don't take no offense to that.
Anyway, again, I just think Adele should have just sat there and ate her food when she got that Grammy.
They had food at the Grammy.
It's a saying, girl. It just annoyed me.
Well, most likely. They had puppies at the Grammys.
They sure did. I wonder if they really kept them puppies because I sure would have. Like, they would have like it was just a problem. Like, no.
How you buy puppies for what?
But that's cool. That's cool. So like since we talked about music,
okay.
what do you think about like the TV shows there? Like,
What do you mean? What TV shows am I into?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
TV shows, like black TV shows.
Oh, How to Get Away with Murder. If you're not watching it, you're stupid. Sit down, good. Grab a popcorn, sit there and watch that show. That is a excellent show.
Okay.
I was about to panic. I was about to be like, ooh, I don't know any black shows that I watch personally, and I do. But go ahead, I'm like. I'll let you finish.
I was about to say, now, watch How to Get Away with Murder. It stars the incredible Viola Davis. It's not created by Shonda Rhimes. It's created by a guy named Pete Nowalk, but she's kind of like the executive producer or whatever. Yeah, she does Scandals. Watch Scandals if you haven't watched that either, but you can stop it at like season 5 because I'm starting to get tired of it. Good thing, just the final season. They need to kill Kerry Washington's character and just have her be done because Olivia Pope. Yes. No. That's how it needs to end.
Don't listen to this foolishness.
Listen to me. Okay.
No.
Who else? I heard people watch Power a lot, but I never got into that.
My mom watches Power because.
Watch Luke Cage.
Don't watch Luke Cage.
What? You didn't like Luke Cage?
Don't watch none of this.
No, watch Luke Cage, but just don't stop it at episode 6.
I know y'all say that, ooh, I'm tired of Marvel's superhero scene. That's fine and good, but if you watch any of their TV or Netflix stuff, you will be soundly disappointed. So don't you dare watch it.
Soundly
Jessica
disappointed?
Jones, trash. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., trash.
You
Luke Cage,
have
double, triple trash.
Oh my
Courtney,
God.
I mean...
Daredevil, you know what? Look, y'all can like drag me all you want.
All right, get prepared.
Ben Affleck's Daredevil better than the Netflix one.
Your wig, because I'm about to snatch it. Let me tell you something. Don't you
snatch?
Do not. First of all, you talked about Jessica Jones.
Trash.
Why is it trash to you? I want to know.
It's not good.
What is not good about it?
First of all, like
you sound like them
the story
people that said they wasn't gonna vote. What?
You wanna know what my favorite show is?
What's up?
No.
Yeah. Let's get back on topic. Yeah. What's up?
I have a couple actually. The first one, I love like the Fox stuff going on right now with Empire and Star. I actually like Star a little bit better than Empire.
I've been trying that one.
I let you say your opinion. I'm gonna say mine first now. Okay? Okay, cool.
Speak.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
But I like Star a little bit better than Empire, only because it's mainly female on that show. It's 3 girls. They're trying to push for their dreams. They may go about it a different way, but I like it. And I also been watching Black Lightning, and he's also another black superhero.
Yeah.
I think we need more stuff like that. I think we need more black entertainment shows and in all genres. I know there's a lot of shows in just like what I mentioned earlier with Star with the kind of rags to riches story or like they're coming from a broken home or I wish we had more shows that show a different side, like Blackish. Oh my God, Blackish and the spinoff show Grownish is so hilarious and so relatable. It's so relatable for me because it talks about a young black woman in college trying to figure out her way through it. And that helps me so much because I'm technically in that position. The same position that she's in and going through some of the same experiences that she's going through. And I highly recommend you watch Grownish. And I love it.
I've heard good things about Grownish and Blackish awesome. for so long. My personal favorite black created, produced, and directed and starred in TV show of this generation would definitely have to be Donald Glover's critically acclaimed Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I meant to mention that.
Y'all need to watch that show, you know. Robin season's coming out soon, so y'all need to watch it. If y'all want something that's funny, you know, that's definitely out of the ordinary and just like, you know, still grounded, very grounded actually, and shows like, you know, the not just the stereotypical side of humans, but like the unconventional side, the things that we don't really bring to light. You would definitely need to watch Atlanta because it's very good.
And I like the name because it's Atlanta. Shout out to my family that's in Atlanta. I love you guys.
One thing, I know this show's a little bit old, but it's one of the best shows I ever watched. If you have not watched The Wire, watch it, please.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. That's really good.
For sure.
That is really.
That's probably like a classic to watch.
Classic, but I know so many people that haven't.
Or else your black card will be revoked. I'm just saying.
And go see Black Panther on February 16th.
Yes.
You better be there.
Absolutely.
Opening night, come. Oh, let me not say that. I don't want people to know my location. They might come and beat me up.
But
anyway,
yes. Make sure you guys, if you are interested, go and see Black Panther.
Support. That is
like we said earlier. If you want to break this barrier of trying to get people together, please take your family or anybody you know to go see Black Panther. If you don't support it, then you don't support yourself. I'm sorry.
Literally. And this movie is so important on so many levels. Not just like the representation of black people, but even especially like I've heard so many great things about the representation of black women in that movie that they all get their shining moments.
You can see that it's very right. And I'm happy about it because like from the trailer, especially from the first trailer is my favorite because you see a lot of the Wakanda for a fantasy African nation. You can see, especially in the movie, the colors, the visuals, how much they drew from the real life African culture. It's beautiful.
It is.
Y'all definitely need to go see that.
It is.
You saw Lupita on that purple carpet?
Oh, that wasn't Lupita.
That wasn't Lupita?
In the purple car and during that clip?
In the purple dress. On the purple carpet.
Oh.
Oh, see.
I thought about the purple car.
I saw the picture with my son.
The red carpet. Oh,
it was purple.
Okay.
The carpet was purple. Purple dress.
But I seen the picture of my son Donald. Oh my God, he looked dapper. And I'm sorry. Yeah. Whoa. How like.
I know.
How dishonorable.
You mean his son?
My father, Donald, he was on the red carpet with his orange suit. I see what he's been doing because from that Grammys performance with Terrified and how he dressed as the Black Panther premiere, he's setting up for Lion King. Like he's really setting up.
Oh, and the little boy. I'm so glad he brought him out. What's his name? I forget it.
It's J.D.
So J.D. McCrary.
J.D. McCrary. Yeah.
If you're listening.
Were you there? The Black Panther premiere, JD? I feel like you were. I'm sure Donald took you.
But yeah, definitely go see Black Panther because that's just gonna set this is really gonna show. First of all, I already know it's gonna set so many records. Look, it's already outpacing all of the rest of the superhero movies in history. Like that's crazy for pre-ticket sales. But it's gonna set.
Supposed to come out this year?
No, that's next year. What?
Next year? Okay. Well, look, 2018 and 2019 is the year for Black excellence. Like it's setting it up. It's setting it up so much.
Yeah. So support me when I drop my music, please. Thank you.
Don't support me. I'm kidding. Support him.
How about y'all make Courtney Taylor flop? Because what's that?
That's fine. I'm flopping.
We don't have hatred on this podcast. So you just put it in the trash.
I love you, brother. I love you,
take
brother.
Take it out.
Support them more.
Sorry, but I hate some people in my school. So
we're not gonna talk about that.
I know.
Hardcore.
That's another topic.
One more question.
Okay.
I want to know who has it harder, black men or black women?
Black gay men. Thanks.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on how you look at it.
I'm just saying it's like in general, like.
On the one front, it is black gay men, but on the
that wasn't an option. I mean, it's the truth.
Oh yeah, so out of those two options, then yeah, most definitely black
women. Period. Black women. Period.
Why do you believe that?
It's not why do I believe it. It's just I'll give you the evidence as to why it's a fact though.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I'll tell you why black women have it harder.
Great.
As much as black women fight for their black brothers, like I said earlier, they do not get that same fight back. Period. When it comes to the injustices, I mean, the only exception I really have to that is Sandra Bland, but there's been so many other Sandra Bland-like cases where nobody is riled up about them, or black men feel like they don't care. But black women are just disrespected as a whole. They're disrespected from an industry standpoint. They're disrespected from a systematic standpoint. And they're disrespected in a relationship standpoint. Mm-hmm. Period. And in this generation now, it's so glorified to be like, excuse my language, but to be a hoe. Like, it's so glorified to kind of just be like, have a bunch of side chicks, or it's like this picture painted of like this alpha male that can do whatever they want to do. I would have said, black men have it harder the way we are treated, out here. But when you really look at it, you really look at the facts, and I don't want no cishet black men mad in my mentions because you're gonna get dragged. Black women have it harder. Period. Deal with it. And it's not even a competition of who's more oppressed, because we're all trying not to be oppressed. But
have you guys seen black women like?
But yeah, and to be in all honesty, black gay men have it the worst because we're black and we're gay, and people don't like that, so I don't care.
Oh.
So it's like, ooh, it's black gay men and black women. We're like, wow.
I definitely gotta chime in and agree with Alexis. Call me racist if y'all want, but not to sound no way, but it's just because I just love
black
our
people
culture.
Can't be racist, by the way. Thanks.
What happened?
Nothing. Go ahead. Towards white people.
Okay. But just because I support our culture, I just only have an interest in black women, And it's not to say that all other women don't look good. It's just that
that's who you prefer.
That's not who you prefer. I just feel like
that's another topic though too. Because how do you feel about that? It's like
when someone prefers like one certain cultural type.
For example,
of woman
with black people, if we're like, I don't know, if a black man, like what you just said, let's just say you were like, oh, I don't really like black women, but I only prefer this kind of.
Oh, now see, that's another thing. It's like, now when the whole thing of like, because that's what a lot of people say when they say that they love black women. They have the body type advantage over other races, and my thing is. There's so much more to take into account.
But I was speaking more so on the fact that you'll have a lot of guys that'll be like, yeah, I love black women, but I want a white girl. I want an exotic girl. I want some. First of all, as if black women can't be exotic.
You know what it is? I feel like again, it's another bad negative stereotype of black men, but it's true a lot of times.
Yeah, it is.
It's the fact that we want to know that we can achieve these things. We're just like, I can have a white woman if I want.
No,
I can have this woman if I want. That's not the case.
I'm gonna personally disagree because I feel like when I was saying black women have it hard, it's just been. Well, maybe you do have a point in the sense that maybe black men just feel like, all right, well, maybe by me saying, oh, I can get a white woman, it shows like power, it shows something. I don't know, but it just goes to show that black women don't get enough love, period.
Exactly, that's another thing.
Because those are the ones that they'll be called ugly, they'll be called nappy, or they'll be like, oh, you look like especially dark-skinned black women. They'll be like, oh, I've heard so many things, like, oh, you look like a roach, just so many crazy things. But then, you see like, or they'll call like so many different races like exotic. I'm like, there's nothing exotic about them. Just because they're light-skinned and have long hair does not make them exotic. Exactly. And there's so many. The definition of exotic has been like so misused.
Right.
Like you
can be from a different. Honestly, there are so many black women that
are exotic. Like being from exotic, like period.
Like the lady from Love and Hip Hop, and she has to explain why she's African and Puerto Rican.
Like Afro-Latina. Yeah.
Right. It's like your history, you would know that slaves were taken from their country and put in different parts of the world, so that it's possible for somebody who is black to also be Latino.
Right.
It's very possible, and that's why they exist.
It's one thing of one thing is a nationality, and one thing it comes from like she explained it. So I just saw somebody on Instagram talking about it. I mean, I don't really like to speak on things that I cannot personally identify with because I don't like to misstate something. But from the way I took it, it's like if you come from a black ancestry and you happen to be from a Latin speaking country, you are Afro-Latinx. That's basically what it is. Right. So I don't know. Some people are stupid though. They're never gonna get that. But yeah, that's also interesting because like that whole reality TV is really interesting now. How they're like trying to tackle like social issues, but in a way it's so staged. But it's also like I get what they're trying to do because they're trying to spark conversation. But it's like I just wish it was a little bit more authentic. But it's like people are going through that though, so I do kind of commend them because she said it was fake, like but. In the sense of like that whole argument, but it was because they wanted to have that conversation about it. They wanted to spark it. So I mean, in one way, I commend them about that. But I'm like, it's reality TV, girl. Like,
right. I mean,
but that's their reality. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's the reality.
Yeah.
It's reality. I mean, because I have too many friends and know too many people that are from a different like country and they have like heavy accents and they usually have to explain why they have the heavy accent and why they look the way that they do. But actually this concludes the first episode of What's the Move.
Hey,
I love you guys for coming.
Of course.
And supporting me.
Anytime.
But stay tuned for episode 2. The episode 2 is of course for Valentine's Day, since February is also a month of love. And even though you should be loving people every single day. But next episode, Valentine's Day, and we have a lot to talk about on that one as well. So thanks for tuning in. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on the show, Alexis. I am so proud to be here today.
You sound like you was reading that.
No, I was thinking about the next topics for the next episode. Excuse me. No, but thank you guys for listening to me talk crazy. So yeah,
he is crazy.
And
by the way, we have the same birthday. By the way,
that's true. And thank you guys, and thank you Alexis for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Skirt came down.